Hello everyone and welcome to my Coronation Street official today. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. If you thought you'd seen every kind of heartbreak on Coronation Street, this storyline is about to hit you in a way you weren't ready for. Let's talk about what's really been going on, because this isn't just another dramatic twist. This is something much darker, something that's been quietly building in the background for months. Todd Grimshaw has been living a nightmare, and the most chilling part, it's been happening right under everyone's noses. His relationship with Theo has slowly transformed into something deeply toxic, something controlling, something dangerous, and yet hardly anyone has truly seen it for what it is. Fans everywhere have been shouting at their screens, begging anyone to notice the signs, and the biggest question that keeps coming up is, how has Summer Spellman, someone so close to Todd, not seen what's happening? Actress Harriet Bibi has finally spoken out, revealing that even she finds it frustrating, but at the same time she helps us understand why Summer has been so blind to it all. At the center of it all is grief, manipulation, and a carefully constructed illusion. Theo has been pulling strings, twisting reality, and isolating Todd so effectively that even the people who love him most have been left in the dark. But now things are starting to shift. The cracks are forming, and once the truth starts to come out, there is no stopping what comes next. When you really sit down and think about Todd's situation, it's honestly heartbreaking. This isn't just about arguments or a bad relationship. This is about control. This is about someone being slowly broken down, piece by piece, until they don't even recognize themselves anymore. Theo hasn't just been cruel, he's been calculated. Every word, every action, every manipulation has been designed to keep Todd trapped. And the worst part, Todd hasn't just been suffering physically or emotionally. He's been isolated, cut off from the support, made to feel like he's alone. Like no one would understand, like no one would believe him. That kind of psychological control is terrifying because it doesn't leave obvious marks. It doesn't scream for attention, it whispers, and those whispers are easy to ignore until it's too late. Now think about Summer, someone who knows Todd better than almost anyone, someone who's been like family to him. You would expect her to notice something was wrong, right? But here's where it gets painfully real. Summer has been drowning in her own grief. Losing Billy wasn't just a loss, it shattered her world. One moment he was there and the next gone. That kind of pain doesn't just fade away, it clouds everything, it makes you vulnerable, it makes you desperate for comfort, and that's exactly where Theo steps in. It doesn't just manipulate Todd, he manipulates everyone around him. He controls the narrative so perfectly that people don't even question it. He presents himself as the supportive partner, the stable figure, the one holding things together, and when someone like Summer is already emotionally broken, already searching for something to hold on to, she clings to that version of him because the alternative, the truth, it's too painful to even consider. Harriet Bibi explained it perfectly. Summer isn't someone who looks for bad in people. She believes in others, she trusts them, and the kind of mindset, as beautiful as it is, can also make someone vulnerable to manipulation. Because when you don't expect darkness, you don't see it coming. But now something is changing. There have been moments, small, strange, unsettling moments that didn't quite add up. Things that were brushed aside at the time. Maybe it was the way Theo reacted to certain questions. Maybe it was the tension in Todd's voice. Maybe it was just a feeling, something that didn't sit right. And now those moments are coming back one by one, louder, clearer. That moment when Penny drops, it's not sudden, it's overwhelming. It's like everything hits you at once. Every ignored detail, every missed sign, every uncomfortable feeling, it all comes crashing down, and when that happens, you can't unsee it. Imagine being Summer in that moment, realizing that someone you trusted, someone you leaned on, is capable of something horrific, realizing that while you were grieving, while you were trying to survive your own pain, someone else was suffering right in front of you, and you didn't see it. That kind of realization doesn't just hurt, it shatters you. And then there is the truth about Billy. The idea that Theo could have saved him, that he chose not to. That's not just shocking, it's chilling. It changes everything. It turns grief into anger, confusion into betrayal, and for Summer, that's a whole new level of emotional devastation. As we move toward the climax of the storyline, things are getting more intense. Todd finally reaches a breaking point. Reporting Theo to the police isn't just an act of courage, it's a desperate attempt to reclaim control of his life. But when someone like Theo starts losing that control, that's when things get dangerous. It doesn't just accept defeat, he runs, he tries to escape because for someone like him, being exposed is the worst possible outcome. It destroys the illusion, it reveals the truth, and people like Theo will do anything to avoid that. The special episode promises to dive deep into this reality. The use of symbolism, like the color purple representing survivors, adds another emotional layer. It reminds us that Todd's story isn't isolated, it's part of something bigger, something that happens more often than people realize. And when Summer finally sees the full extent of what Todd has been through, it's going to break her, not just because of the pain he endured, but because of what it means. It means she couldn't protect him, it means she didn't see it, and that kind of guilt, it lingers. What makes this storyline so powerful isn't just the drama, it's the realism. This isn't exaggerated for entertainment, this is grounded in truth. The way abuse can hide, the way it can be masked by charm, by confidence, by carefully constructed lies, is disturbingly accurate. Theo represents something deeply unsettling, not just a villain, but a reflection of real-life situations where abusers blend in, where they appear normal, even likable, and that's what makes it so hard to detect, because people don't expect danger from someone who seems so convincing. The impact of this storyline goes beyond the characters. It forces viewers to question their own perceptions, to think about the people around them, to wonder if they have ever missed signs, ignored red flags, trusted someone they shouldn't have. And then there is the emotional fallout. Todd's journey doesn't end with escaping Theo. The trauma doesn't just disappear, the scars, emotional, psychological, take time to heal, and for Summer, the consequences are just as heavy. Like this experience is going to change her. It's going to shape how she sees people, how she trusts, how she reacts. And let's not forget that danger of confrontation. When someone like Theo is cornered, exposed, desperate, and that's when things can escalate, that's when the situation becomes unpredictable, and that tension, it's what keeps viewers on edge, wondering what's going to happen next. Personally, I think this storyline hits differently because it forces us to question something uncomfortable. How many Theos go unnoticed in real life, and how often do we trust the wrong person simply because they seem convincing? And now that Summer is starting to see the cracks, you can feel the shift coming. That moment where everything clicks into place, and once that happens, there is no going back. But here is the real question. When the truth finally comes out, will it bring justice or just more heartbreak? And when Todd finds the strength to stand up for himself, will it be enough to truly break free? Or has Theo already left scars that won't heal so easily? Looking ahead, it feels like we're heading toward a confrontation that won't just expose Theo. It could completely change Summer too, pushing her from grief into action and maybe even into danger. Because when someone like Theo starts losing control, they don't just walk away quietly. So as the story reaches its peak, ask yourself, are we about to see justice or one final desperate twist? If this storyline has you feeling something, anger, frustration, heartbreak, then it's doing exactly what it's meant to do. Because stories like this matter. They open eyes, they start conversations, so tell me what you think. Do you believe Summer will confront Theo? Will Todd finally find peace? Or is there still more darkness ahead? If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because trust me, this story is far from over.